What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one. And yeah, tonight was a very light day in terms of practice. It was just a walkthrough. There are some news and notes we'll go over. There's a couple articles I want to go over, and we'll obviously talk about the Xavien Howard situation. A couple of things I do want to get out of the way before we get into everything. Some housekeeping notes. First of all, happy birthday to the homie Fake Spike 94. Fake Spike is celebrating his birthday today. So everyone in the chat, send him some love. And send him some birthday wishes, part of the Phinside fam, obviously, right? On a little bit more of a downer note, I need everyone to send their thoughts and prayers to one of my friends and, one of the key members of the Phinside fam, Dame Deese. Damien is going through it right now. He's got a really tough decision in front of him tonight in regards to his mother's health that him and his loved ones need to make. So I need everyone to send their best wishes, their prayers, and their love towards Damien because he's going through it right now. So everyone, please send him some love, man. Dame's always been a supporter since day one. He always shows up in the chat, always interacts with you guys. He's a humble, very, very nice individual. So please just send him as much love that you can, and keep him in your thoughts, keep him in your prayers tonight, because Damien's really going through it. I don't know how much I can divulge to everyone. That's why I don't want to, put all of the information out there, what's going on, but he's got a very tough decision tonight in regards to his mother that he has to make with his loved one. So, just please show him some love. So, Damien, we're thinking of you. We love you, bro. And I'm just hoping, that some light shines through the darkness and you guys can get through this all. And I'm praying for a miracle, man. I really am. So here's hoping for you, man. Here's praying for you. I'm just, I just feel so bad for him. I just feel so bad for him. So, Damien, we're thinking of you. We're sending you a whole bunch of positive energy, a whole bunch of love. So I hope you're good, man. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well, bro. So yeah, send Damien a bunch of love if you can, guys, bro. He's really going through it, everyone. So please show him as much love as possible. And some prayers in the chat. And on top of that, show Fake Spike some love because it's his birthday. So kind of a yin and yang day in terms of positive and negative energy right now for some of the subscribers. So I just hope, especially with Damien, everything gets better for you, brother. I'm really praying for you, dude. Really, really am. So we got some news and notes from today's walkthrough we're going to go through. We got a 6-pack of notes from yesterday that I want to go over about Barry Jackson. We're going to look into the X situation because it's really hard to get a read on this in terms of what they're saying publicly because we got some interesting things to take a look at. And then I'll open it up to you guys. It's not going to be a super long stream tonight, so we'll do our thing because I'll be live tomorrow. And I'll be live Sunday. I'll be live Saturday and Sunday because there are legitimate practices going down over the next 2 days. So I'll be live for those. And then they're off till Wednesday when they do the joint practice with the Chicago Bears. So, yeah, we'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live Sunday night here on the channel, and then I'll be off Monday and Tuesday, just so everyone knows, okay? Just updating you guys of where we'll be at. And then tonight, when I'm done here, if you're a Patreon, I will be giving a Deshaun Watson Eagles update. If you guys didn't know, when our stream last ended, a report came out by a pretty credible individual that the Eagles and the Houston Texans were in deep talks about Deshaun Watson. I got some inside information on that whole situation, but I'm going to be dropping that exclusively to the Patreon as some inside information. So if you're a Patreon, be on the lookout for that. After this stream ends, I'll be dropping, as you guys know, I have a connection to the Eagles front office. So I'll be dropping some information exclusively on the Patreon after that. So it's, it's for those who are interested in the Watson developments, for those who hope he doesn't end up here, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll be dropping some Watson information on the Patreon after this stream's done for everyone. Okay. All right. With all of that said, let's get into the news and notes for today. All right, and basically a lot of them I'm just gonna read to you guys. So some interesting stuff. Jesse Davis today was wearing a sleeve on his right leg. So he's obviously been battling that issue going on, right? So Jesse Davis was wearing a right sleeve on his leg today, but he says he has no pain, is ready to go. He was also back to first team duties at right tackle when they're on 11-11 drills today. Larnell Coleman did get some snaps there. We'll get into that. So Javon Holland was once again during the walkthrough on the first team today, and he seemed to have a good grasp of what the team is trying to do with the coverage. So, he obviously hasn't had as many reps or as many snaps as a guy like Jason McCourty, but he still has had his fair share of reps. Larnell Coleman, the 7th round pick out of University of Massachusetts, seems to be firmly entrenched as a swing tackle, as he's seen both first and second team duty there. So he did get some first team reps today. And so everyone knows Solomon Kinley actually got promoted back to second team reps today. So Solomon Kinley was on the second team today, which is obviously, thank God. You know what I mean? Like, thank God we saw him get up after the investment they've made in him. It's really been quite the downfall for Solomon Kinley, but so it's good to see him get some second team reps, obviously be promoted from the third team that it seemed like he was at. So there you go. Let me just handle something here. All right, continuing on. Michael Pilardi. He had a real big day. He was standing at the 50-yard line, kicking line drives to Jason Sanders, who was standing on the sideline at the 10. Perfect spiral, hitting Sanders right in the chest, like crazy accuracy. So, apparently he was really impressive to watch today. So, all right, continuing on, some news and notes you guys might be interested in as well. Noah Igbenogany, Jakeem Grant, and Jalen Waddle were the kick returners today during the walkthrough. So remember, it was a walkthrough, guys. So there wasn't like, we weren't going full speed here, right? So during the walkthrough, for kick return, different than punt return, it was Igbenogany, Jakeem Grant, and Jalen Waddle. For punt return, Grant and Jalen Waddle were the only ones doing punt return today. Malcolm Perry did not do it. So another big thing too, Xavien Howard participated in the walkthrough today. So that's obviously a good sign. Chase asked why not Liam instead of Lauren Ellis swing, because Liam's starting at left guard right now. So they're not going to make him a swing tackle if he's starting at left guard. Another thing, too, besides Xavien Howard participating in walkthrough today, Jalen Phillips was also participating in the walkthrough today. So that could be a sign that we see him back very soon. So, I mean, hey, some good signs between Xavien Howard and Jalen Phillips, both on the field today for walkthrough. So gotta like seeing those type of things, right? Keep it rolling here. A couple other little interesting tidbits for you guys. Apparently there's a lot of special team stuff today. They had 3 different units with different players on kickoffs. So when they were doing the dime install today, Brandon Jones and Javon Holland were working as the safeties, with Xavien Howard involved as well. Shaquem Griffin is officially on the second unit, defensive unit. So Shaquem Griffin, he looks like he's a lock to make the team. Like I said when we drafted him, I said this guy's gonna make it. So another interesting note: the second team defensive unit, Noah Igbenogany, was not on the second team defensive unit today. So he was on the sideline watching the second unit, and clearly, as you all know, he was not working with the first unit at all. So does this mean Noah Igbenogany has been demoted down to the third team? Some of the corners on the second team were Javaris Davis and Cravon LeBlanc. Parker was out there today. Will Fuller was not out there today. Byron Jones and Eck were on the 11-11s today. And then for a little bit, X went off to the sideline and McCourty came in. Adam Shaheen was working with the starters today. So that's a big thing. He's back from COVID. And then another little tidbit here. Zach Seiler was working in as a defensive end. Him and Emmanuel Ogba were working as defensive ends today. So not a ton of information to pull away from today's walkthrough, obviously. So Raphael, I've already done a 53-man prediction based off of our current roster. If you go back a couple shows, you can go find it. I've already did that. So there you go. X is there today, working on the 11-11s with the first team. Noah Igbenogany wasn't even working with the second team when we were doing 11-11s. When it came to kick return, it was Igbenogany, Waddle, and Shaquem Grant, just so everyone knows, because that's obviously something special teams is. And then on punt return, it was only Grant and Waddle today. Shaquem Griffin working with the second team. He's clearly been promoted during walkthroughs. Larnell Coleman, more snaps at right tackle, but when they got to the 11-11 walkthroughs today, they went with Jesse Davis at right tackle, Liam Eichenberg still at left guard. So, yeah, some interesting news and notes from today's walkthrough. All right, let's keep it rolling though. Before I open it up to you guys, I got a couple things I want to go over here for you guys. That's basically all the news and notes. Michael Pilardi had a big day, was like absolutely drilling punts today. So let's keep it rolling here too. All right, we'll save the X stuff for last. All right, so from last night, here are some news and notes. A 6-pack of news from Barry Jackson that I wanted to go over. Six-pack of notes for Thursday last night. The new gatekeeper mentor for the Miami Dolphins offensive line might have the most challenging job of any assistant, evaluating the play of 5 young players who could be starters: Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, Liam Eichenberg, Michael Dieter, Solomon McKinley, and making sure current backup center Matt Skura doesn't have a recurrence of his snapping issues that led to his benching in Baltimore last season. But Dolphins coach Brian Flores, who was cycled through offensive line coaches like some cycle through paper towels, believes Lemuel Jean-Pierre is up to the task. He said, I think the world of Lem. He was here a year ago, and his energy and practice and his acumen about the game stand out. When you walk into his office and you ask a question, be ready for a dissertation and be ready to get educated about football. Oftentimes, if I've got somewhere to go, I'll put my head down and keep walking, or else Lem will grab me and ask me about this defense or this front and what happens. I'm going to do this if you do this. It's a back and forth, and he's that way with the players. He's got a great rapport with the players. We saw we saw that last year, and I think he's doing a heck of a job. Flores has had 4 offensive line coaches in less than 3 seasons on the job. Not good. Pat Flaherty lasted only 4 days of training camp in 2019 before being dismissed. David DiGuglielmo took over in August 2019, but wasn't retained after 1 season. Steve Marshall was hired on the recommendation of Chan Gailey. We all know how that worked out. Jean-Pierre has the best chance to be a long-term solution. He played in the league, primarily center as a backup for the Seattle Seahawks in 2010 to 2015, then became a coach as an offensive assistant for the Seahawks coach Pete Carroll in 2017. John Gruden hired him as assistant offensive line coach in April 2018. Flores hired him for that job in February 2020. For most of his players, no, I look for toughness, being disciplined, being detailed and nasty, Jean-Pierre said. I've got a good group. They will push each other in terms of quizzing each other and asking those questions and understanding the terms of the O-line room in general. All right, let's get off the offensive line. You got to show and prove me there. The Dolphins are listening when teams call them about Xavien Howard, and several have. But to this point, the Dolphins want far more. If you go on my Patreon, I tell you exactly what they're asking for, and they know they're not going to get it. Want far more than what teams are willing to offer for the Pro Bowl cornerback who has requested a trade. Team source called it unlikely that Howard would be traded. Why would we? The person said, noting the 4 years left on his contract. But nobody can rule it out because it's impossible to say if a playoff contender will lose a quarterback to injury and offer multiple high draft picks, which I've told you guys that's on the Patreon. You guys know what picks they're looking for Howard, or 2, if Howard becomes disruptive, which hasn't happened at all to this point. He's been a team player, right? Howard hasn't caused any issues with teammates. We support him. He supports us, Jerome Baker said. That's one thing you can never say about X. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy, and we all love him. Quarterback Tagovailoa, who's had the very first 8 days of camp, has only had one problem so far. At times, he holds the ball too long in the face of pressure, but I've been reluctant to read much into that because you know how Tagovailoa would react in the same situation. You don't know how Tagovailoa would react in the same situation if he's facing an opposing defense that was about to devour him. Tagovailoa doesn't face that exact same situation in practice because he isn't being tackled, so that might be motivating him to hold on to the ball a bit longer than he should at times. Asked this week about not getting the ball out quickly enough. The 6'1" Tagovailoa said, I'm not as tall, so I've got to get back and try to move my way through the pocket and to see where guys are going to be. But for me, it's really spots on the field. See, I'm only 5'11", so I understand what he's saying there. Like when I played football, our offensive line, picture a pocket like a horseshoe. And what we used to do is we used to either shift the horseshoe to the left or to the right. So basically, if I shifted the horseshoe to the left, I would roll out to the right, set my feet, make my throw. If we shifted it to the right, I roll out to the left and I set my feet and I throw. So basically, I would roll out the opposite way of where the pocket was designed, right? So that's what we did so I could see over linemen, especially on other teams, right? So because I obviously against like 6'3", 6'4" guys at times, right? And I had some big guys on my line. So we just shifted our pocket on an angle. So if I shifted it to the right, I rolled to the left, set my feet, made the throw. If I shifted it to the left, I rolled out to the right, set my feet, and made the throw. So, I mean, I understand what he's saying there. The Dolphins made six roster moves Thursday, removing Preston Williams and tight ends Ethan Carter and Adam Shaheen from the COVID list. Mike Gesicki remained on the COVID list. The Dolphins also released 3 tight ends who joined the team recently: Gabe Holmes, Sal Cannella, and Khalif Jackson. Durham Smythe and Hunter Long have received much of the first team work at tight end in practice. Carson Meyer and Chris Myrick are also on the roster. As for Williams, he remains on the physically unable to perform list even after being removed from COVID. As he works his way back from foot surgery last November, the team hasn't offered a timetable for his return. Michael Dieter, the first team center for all 7 practices so far, has impressed teammates. Mike is a good guy, a leader, a damn good football player, Robert Hunt said. Physical, smart right now. The center in our offense is a vocal point, a main centerpiece for us, and I think he's doing a fantastic job. In trying to predict which undrafted rookies have the best chance to stick, you always start with the ones given the most guaranteed money after the draft. And for the Dolphins, 2 stand well above everyone else. Guard Robert Jones, given $130,000 guaranteed, which is a ton for a UDFA. And cornerback Trill Williams, who's guaranteed $100,000 by the Dolphins after being claimed off waivers from the Saints, which is a ton of money. And Williams has impressed in the first week of camp, making a few good plays on the ball and forcing 2 fumbles after making an interception in mandatory minicamp. He was beaten some 2 in the past week, but there's potential there. Williams was considered a 4th to 6th. I had a 5th round grade on him, so there you go, right in the middle. Talent before an ankle injury at Syracuse. The Dolphins offered Williams more money than the Saints did immediately after the draft, but Williams opted for the Saints, partly because he thought he had a better chance to make the Saints, but he ended up with the Dolphins anyway because the Saints, after signing him, wanted him to sign a waiver regarding a surgically repaired ankle that he didn't want to sign. New Orleans thought it would sneak him through the waivers and re-sign him, not expecting any team to claim him and inherit his $100,000 guarantee, but the Dolphins pounced. The 6'2 rookie had 4 interceptions in 28 college games and opted out after 5 games last season because he thought it wasn't advisable to continue playing with a torn ligament in his ankle. The ankle injury was affecting the hamstring and his ability to play to the level of his expectation, his father told the Syracuse Post-Standard last fall. He had surgery in December, but he's fine now. During the past 3 seasons, he had passer ratings against of 54.7, 98.7, and 80.1 with 92 tackles and 3 forced fumbles. Pro Football Focus rated him a 4th rounder before the draft. NFL.com rated him a 6th. Again, I had him a 5th round grade. I've said this before. Making the Dolphins as an undrafted corner will be difficult with Xavien Howard, Byron Jones, Noah Benogany, Jason McCourty, Nick Needham, and Justin Coleman having jobs secured. But Williams has a chance if Miami keeps 6 corners, and he can play safety too, so he's got a good chance. With Trill, what he brings on this tape coming out of Syracuse is he was a run and hit guy. Cornerbacks coach Charles Burke said he was a guy that was very physical on his tape. He played some corner and he played some safety. So again, in our system, we like guys who are versatile and can do a lot of things. Jones has a chance too if Miami keeps 10 linemen, which is unlikely, or if the Dolphins keep 9 but release a veteran backup such as Jermaine Illuminor. Jermaine, I haven't heard anything about Illuminor, and he has. I'm shocked he's not getting a look at right tackle because he's played some right tackle in New England. But the fact the Dolphins might not keep a single undrafted rookie on the final 53 speaks to how the roster has been upgraded, and there's definitely room for Jones and Williams on the practice squad. Perhaps a couple of other undrafted rookies, such as Indiana defensive tackle Jerome Johnson. So there you go. News and notes. All right. So I will let's keep it rolling. I want to bring up this article here. About how the Dolphins, another, it's about the backup quarterbacks and everything like that. So it talks up about Brissett and it talks up Reed Sinnett a little bit too. So and we got some news and notes I want to go over here too. So let's get into that. And then we're going to get into the X stuff, and that'll open it up for a little bit. All right. So Brissett and Reed Sinnett have been impressing in camp. So amid the enthusiasm about Tagovailoa's improvement. Something else. Wow, my eyes right now. Something else positive is happening behind the center for the Miami Dolphins through 8 practices of training camp. New back Jacoby Brissett has been really impressive, and Reed Sinnett, the development third string quarterback, has also had some good moments. You know, it's crazy. I recently watched our 2012 Hard Knocks, and I forgot how good Pat Devlin was in camp, and it reminded me, and that's why I'm thinking about with Reed Sinnett. So Brissett has been sharp as the Dolphins could have hoped. His intermediate and deep throws have been mostly on target. More than a handful of completions have traveled at least 40 yards in the air, including 3 to Isaiah Ford. He stood up in the face of pass rush and delivered a ball with precision and authority. Dating back to 2018, current Dolphins coach Brian Flores has been effusive in his praise of Brissett, and he did it again this past week. He said he's very bright, loves to play, loves to watch film. He's a team first guy. You see him in there, and he's talking to defensive guys, talking to offensive linemen, talking to defensive linemen. He's talking to specialists. I think he just embodies a lot of things we're looking for. There's a lot of things to like here. He's a guy's guy. Everyone kind of gravitates to him. I think his ability to fit in quickly with a lot of different guys. He's been in the league a few years, but that's kind of been seamless. He just loves to play and wants to help guys improve. It's just been a good fit so far. The Dolphins did not necessarily want another ambitious backup like Ryan Fitzpatrick, who very much wanted to start and might get an opportunity to do that in Washington, where he signed for 1 year and $10 million. But the Dolphins never asked Brissett if he would be content with being a backup without much expectation of starting barring injury. No, Brissett, when asked if that's an issue during camp came up, the conversation was just to come in here, work hard, compete, and be a good teammate. I think that'd be my situation no matter what. Brissett, who signed for 1 year for $5 million with the ability to earn as much as $2.5 million more in incentives, has a higher career passer rating than Fitzpatrick, 84.1 to 82.3. But let's be honest, Brissett doesn't throw the ball much when you go look at him in Indianapolis, etc. That's why his touchdown to interception ratio is so low. Brissett went from really, really good in the first half of 2019 to well below average during the second half, a plunge that propelled the Colts to replace him with Phillip Rivers as a starter in 2020, and leading the Colts to a 5-2 start in 2019. Brissett completed 64% of his passes for 1,519 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, and a 99.3 passer rating. But then he sustained an MCL sprain in Game 8. During the final 8 games, he had 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a 56.4% completion percentage, and a 75 passer rating. The Colts acquired Rivers to replace him as a starter that offseason. Last season, Brissett completed just 2 of 8 passes for 17 yards in very limited duty, then joined the Dolphins in free agency. During the 2 years that Brissett started, 15 games in 2017 and 2019, Pro Football Focus rated him 30th and 31st among quarterbacks, and his teams were 4-11 and 7-8. Not very good, but he was the 19th in QBR in 2019. Brissett, who attended Dwyer High in West Palm Beach, has enjoyed playing in his home region, obviously being close to home, and a lot of my friends that have not been able to watch me play and come out here to practice has been good so far. It will be interesting to see if the Dolphins use him in short yardage situations. Backing up Rivers for the Colts, he came off the bench for 3 rushing touchdowns last season. He was sacked an NFL high 57 times in 2017, but has rushed for 583 yards, 3.7 yards per carry, and 12 touchdowns in his career. He smiles about being the oldest person in the quarterback room. That's shocking, he said, in 28. That's not even old, so don't tell me I'm old. Colts coach Frank Reich said a couple years ago that Brissett is an elite leader. The guys know this guy has authentic, deep leadership qualities that you would stack up against everybody in the industry. As for Sinnett, the second-year undrafted player from San Diego University, impressed the Dolphins last fall to the point that Miami didn't import a third developmental quarterback to challenge him this year. He has good size, 6'4", strong arm, has delivered several nice throws of 20 yards or more to Merritt, Ford, Kyle Oxley, and others. He's likely headed to the practice squad. Reed is smart and done a good job learning the offense, said Flores. He's been commanded this group, made some nice throws, and is working hard and improving on a daily basis. Sinnett had no Power 5 offers coming out of high school. So he didn't even have a Rivals.com page, which virtually every prospect gets. and said I had to pretty much beg them to let me go to San Diego University, where he spent 1 year as a starter, throwing for 3,528 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 10 picks, while rushing for 174 yards and 6 touchdowns. Tampa Bay gave him $152,000 guaranteed after he went undrafted 16 months ago, but released him early last September to sign Josh Rosen, who had been cut by the Dolphins. The Dolphins signed Sinnett to the practice squad 6 days later, and Miami has now invested nearly a year in him. He said, I learned so much in the West Coast offense in San Diego and had great coaches there, and I think that's what ultimately got me an opportunity here was great coaching and being able to absorb as much knowledge as I could. So, Marino. Sinnett also feels fortunate having received mentoring from Dolphins legend Dan Marino and veteran quarterbacks Ryan Fitzpatrick and now Brissett. Marino, he said, has been awesome. The first day I got here, sitting in meetings with Tua, he pops his head in and asks if he can sit down. I think to myself, that's Dan Marino. It's been really cool having him in the room and hearing his insights, and I love hearing him talk about how the game has changed. He's a great part of being in our room. He loves the phrase, pick a guy and let it rip. That's a Fitzpatrick phrase too there, Danny boy. We're trying to do that a little bit. Sinnett also appreciates how Fitzpatrick spent extra time with him last season to teach him the nuances of the position. He now said, we're taking some things from the old New England and Indy offenses. What Brissett has been able to bring to the room has been special. He's a football junkie. I get limited reps, so I try to take advantage of watching those guys, Tagovailoa and Brissett, find ways to get better. Here's some news and notes. Isaiah Ford, who has had a very good camp, said he was a little surprised that the Dolphins signed him before camp because the team already had 13 receivers. Jesse Davis has been wearing a compression sleeve on his right leg to manage swelling, but said there's nothing structurally wrong. It's nothing serious. The Dolphins have been having him sit out parts of practice, but Davis said he won't miss any games. He spent a 5th consecutive practice as the first team's right tackle on Friday after spending the offseason program at left guard. He said, I feel pretty comfortable there, played there before, he said on right tackle. Rookie Liam Eichenberg spent a 5th practice in a row at left guard. So, there you go. All right, let's get into the Xavien Howard stuff. All right. I want to, there's a ton I want to go over here with Xavien Howard. So let's start off with something that you guys might find interesting right here. According to Armando Salguero, Miami Dolphins are watching the situation at cornerback closely. This is how bad Noah Igbenogany has been. I want people to realize this right now. They have brought in 4 cornerbacks for tryouts yesterday on Thursday. Lafayette Pitts, Trevor Williams, Alexander Myers, and KJ Sales. I mean, that should tell you all you need to know about their feeling of where Noah Igbenogany currently is. Like, that's not the best sign in the world for the rookie. At all. Also, I wanted to say, Nelson Alfonso, Troy. I got some new patrons. Troy, Nelson Alfonso, Ernesto, Rafael Lopez, and Franklin Lejeune. Can you guys please comment right now if you're watching in the comment section so I can make you guys mods, because that's one of the perks of being a Patreon. So anyways, the Dolphins are currently watching the situation at cornerback very closely. This should tell you all you need to know about what they think of where Noah Igbenogany is right now. Like, all these people who are trying to tell me that Noah's going to ball out, all you guys trying to, like, do the sunshine, rainbow, and lollipops little takes over here, that Noah's going to be fine. If they're so fine with him right now, why are they doing this? This right now kind of tells you everything you need to know in terms of where he's currently at. Like, that's not good. That's not good at all. So I'm just sitting here saying, I'm just, I told you off on the moment this went down. I'm not sold on this kid. Not totally overly sold on this kid yet. I said he's too raw, 2 years too early. Like, there was multiple things that went on. People saying we should have drafted a running back. We should have drafted Antoine Winfield Jr., who me and EM were banging the table for, or the running back that I wanted should have drafted Jonathan Taylor. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, Khalif. The thing is, Brent Grimes has ball skills. All these people that were saying this guy was going to ball out, Noah Benogany does not have good ball instincts and good ball skills. So I don't know where these expectations came from, these people. Darth Vader donates $100.99. Hurts Sewell is doing great in training camp. He is, bro. Move to right tackle. He's absolutely killing it right now. Looks comfortable. There's a lot of talk about how good that offensive line is going to be with Taylor Decker anchoring the left tackle and him anchoring that right tackle. Yeah, Penei Sewell's been doing phenomenal. That's why these people tried to argue me on Penei Sewell. Oh, well, he's only played left tackle. And then I showed them the footage. Showed all y'all the footage of him playing right tackle. Everyone who's been following this channel long enough has seen him being absolute dominant at right tackle. He was drafted as a guard. He did some right guard stuff when he went to what's it called? When he went to like prospect camps and stuff like that. Dude, Penei Sewell is going to be Penei Sewell is going to be a future Hall of Famer. Period. So I'm just saying. And the problem with that's happened is Liam Eichenberg and Jalen Waddle are always going to be compared to Penei Sewell. So yeah. So it looks like we're going to be in a position where we're drafting another tackle this draft. Let's keep it real. But anyways, back to Noah Benogany. Noah Benogany, he's not there yet. He's not ready yet. He's just not there yet. So, and the problem that's happening, the pressure that's happening is Noah's not performing, Needham's doing okay, and Jason McCourty's doing okay. Me and EM went over last stream, I believe it was. Some of you people don't realize how fundamental X is to this defense. All right? Byron gets help. He gets coverage rolled over to his side because he's never predominantly been in a press man scheme. Xavien Howard allows you to use your exotic blitz packages. Xavien Howard helps the safety position. That's why Bobby McCain had a decent season last year, and he'd be a huge help if Javon Holland is starting this year. Xavien Howard also allows you to blitz against the run. Like, Xavien Howard impacts his defense a whole hell of a lot more than some of these people. You can tell the people that understand the game and the people that just are casual sitting on their couch. Xavien Howard impacts his defense schematically a ton. A ton. So, I'm just saying, people need to realize that Xavien Howard is more important than what people are giving him credit for. So, anyways, like you guys remember last camp, even last year's camp. If you go back to last year's camp, Byron Jones was getting smoked last year in camp. X wasn't. So, and, there wouldn't be as many deep bombs and deep shots if X was back there. So, I think, this is the best player on the team, the top 2 player at his position. You got to get this worked out. For our defense to take a step forward and be better than it was last year, you need X. Imagine if we can have X play like how he did last year. I expect him, if he plays, to get another 7 or 8 interceptions this year. X plays and our secondary is on the same level it was last year, and our run defense improves. I'm just saying. Your defense will be a top 5. Because last year, yes, we were a top 5 scoring defense heading in, top 3 scoring defense heading in to that game against the Bills in the last week. But here's the thing. In terms of yards allowed per game, we were 22nd in the NFL. That's what no one wants to talk about that. We were 22nd in the NFL in yards allowed per game. So there you go. All right, let's keep it rolling on next because I got a couple other things here before I open it up to you guys. All right, so if you guys didn't see on Instagram, Cameron Wolfe had a little segment where he was talking, and I want you to see what Xavien Howard said, and this is from a couple days ago.
With Xavien Howard, and is there a solution somewhere down the line?
I think there has to be a solution. I got a chance to talk to X shortly after he was holding out, and essentially what he was saying is he feels like he just wants a little, what did Aretha Franklin call it, RESPECT. He just wants a little, and I think the Dolphins have their stance. He signed a deal 2 years ago, but X, he's the best, corner on the team. One of the best in the league, 10 interceptions last year. I think he wants a little bit more in guarantees, a little bit more in money. And to me, the gap seems small enough that you should be able to make it work. But right now, they're still holding on tight. Brian Flores said they're heading in the right direction.
See this go
now. Okay, so that's what Cameron Wolfe said on Instagram. If you look at the bottom there, I am Xavien Howard. There is Xavien Howard's account, and there is Xavien Howard putting in a cap logo. So that means he's telling you that Cameron Wolfe is capping at some point here. Now, just for context, this post was from yesterday. So, what is he saying that Cameron's capping about? About making progress? Because when he talked about the little bit more money, all that stuff, that was 110% right. I mean, that came from Xavien Howard's mouth. On top of that, he said that he talked to Xavien Howard at the beginning. So X is either saying he's capping about talking directly with X, or he's capping about what he said at the end about Brian Flores saying they're making progress. So, I mean, which one is it, X? You got to be, X is out here using Instagram like we're in high school right now. I mean, I don't, and I'm not saying like he's being immature. I'm sitting there saying like he's using it like a high schooler would in terms of putting a cap without some context to it. So, he's been pretty. Instagram's been the platform where X has been pretty vocal, I guess. So it's got to be about, to me, it's about the progress being made that Flores is talking about. And this is only a day ago. This is last night. This is from last night. So this isn't old or anything here, all right? And then to further compound the situation, this is what Brian Flores had to say today regarding everything.
Period, he will be on his period.
We don't want to trade X. You can write that down. So he's a very good player. He's a big part of the team. We don't want to trade him.
You and X. Okay, so that's from his mouth that we don't want to trade him. Here's the thing, and everyone's turning that into, well, they're not trading X. Guys, read between the lines. He's saying we don't want to trade him. He's not telling you we're not going to trade him. He's saying we don't want to. What does that tell you? We don't want to trade him unless we get an offer that blows us away. That's what he's saying right there. He's saying, yeah, we don't want to trade him, but that doesn't mean we won't trade him if we get the right offer. So, I'm just saying that's, everyone's obviously coming out saying, oh, they're not going to trade him now. That's not what he's saying. He's saying we don't want to trade him. That's telling you teams that are calling about him, if we're going to trade him, you better be able to pony it up right now. That's what he's telling you. So, I mean, there's a lot to take in with this whole X situation. I haven't checked in yet. I'll check in tomorrow and tonight, and I'm probably tomorrow I'll have some I'll try and have an update for you guys from what I'm hearing behind the scenes. Like I said, if you're on Patreon, I will have an update tonight for you regarding the whole Watson Eagles thing that I heard 2 nights ago that I'm finally going to get around to posting. I just didn't want to post it right away because I had some new news up there, inside info for you guys. So, I mean, interesting stuff. You got X basically saying that's cap. There's no progress going on here right now. And then you got Flores saying we don't want to trade him. Denise, they said that about Tunsil 3 weeks before they traded him, that they were not trading Laramie Tunsil. I've already gone over this. And so that's where that's at. So I wouldn't trust Mike Florio, okay? I'll tell you this. The guy, Chris Trapso, who broke the Eagles to Watson stuff, he's the same guy who called DeForest Buckner getting traded from the 49ers to the Colts. There is legitimacy to the Watson Eagles stuff, but there's a holdup in the situation. And I will be making that available to people on Patreon tonight. So they'll be able to see exactly what the holdup is. They'll be able to hear exactly what I'm hearing in regards to it. Again, got a source that's an executive with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I basically confirmed a bunch of stuff in regards to the Watson, the Eagles stuff. So I would not listen to Florio on that. Let me say that. Oh, Rafael Lopez, you're here. Okay, good, man. I wanted to mod you. So let me make you a mod quick, and then I'm going to drop the link for people to join up here for a little bit. I'm only going to go about another 45 minutes here. Because I'll be going live for the next 2 nights for training camp, right? So, Raphael, because if you're a Patreon, that makes you a mod, so you've now been modded. The other people that are around, Franklin Lejeune, Ernesto Gonzalez, as well as Nelson Alfonso and Troy. If you can comment in the section, I would like to make you guys a mod because you are the 4 newest Patreons. All right. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys to come up here and we can discuss. So yeah, the link is in the comment section if any of you want to come up here and talk about this. So yeah, the whole X thing, They got to take care of it. I mean, we're seeing right now that, Noah Benogany during the walkthroughs today is with the third team. The guy's not even with the second team. All right. Nick Needham has sufficed. Jason McCourty has sufficed, but those guys aren't on X's level. The exotic blitz packages against the pass and the run will not be able to be executed to the level. You're now going to have to roll coverage probably to that side and leave Byron on an island, a guy who has never been in that position in a predominantly man press scheme. So it'll be a difficult learning curve. So, all right. Florida born, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Great. Other than our O-line is stressing me out.
I know, eh? Let's just hope we don't see a lot of formidable pass rushes. Dylan, what's going on, dude?
What's good, big dog? Chilling, man. Chilling. Eric Flowers, right? Eric Flowers.
Yeah. British Finn, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Reason. Yeah, doing well. I agree with the gentleman just before me then. Offensive line scares me. It really does. I still think we should have took Sewell and traded back up for Waddle, but that's another story.
Logan in the Cameron Wake jersey. What's going on, buddy?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. Looking
Throwback,
good.
Got the Dolphin swag.
One of my favorite players, man. One of my favorite
fuck
players.
Bro,
They need to make sure he retires as a Dolphin somehow.
I was just watching. I just like binged quickly the 5 episodes of Hard Knocks from 2012 and seeing Cameron Wake in it. Brought back memories.
Yeah, makes you cry. We don't have a player like that yet.
Yeah.
But maybe Jalen Phillips, man.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll
D1,
see.
what's going on, buddy?
How you doing, bro? How
What's
you
that
doing?
picture?
What?
Tom
What
Brady.
do we
gets
always
fucked
do
by
to Tom Brady? When we play him in Miami, what do we do?
That's
What do we do when we play Brady in Miami? We fuck him. There we go.
This guy.
Oh my god.
I don't know why that picture tripped people out. I think it's not, it's what we do.
Purpose, bro.
I don't find it taboo.
You kill me, bro.
I mean,
But how y'all doing, fellas?
What's going on, buddy? Red Comet, what's up, dude?
Nothing much, but I did hear about Kenway in second teams.
Yeah, I already talked about that today.
Yeah. Moving on up.
hopefully that stays, and hopefully he can go back up and not back down. So we'll see. We'll see where he goes tomorrow.
If he gets back to ones, that would.
I don't think he will.
Yeah,
I don't think he is, bro. I think Liam Eichenberg's entrenched now at left guard. I don't think Liam Eichenberg's playing right tackle for us this year.
Bro,
Jesse
it's like
Davis with a sleeve on all year.
I see Twitter all the time. They ask me, "What's Liam Eichenberg doing? What's Eichenberg doing?" The best saying for old linemen. If you hear nothing about them, then that means they're doing well, right?
Yeah, but we've heard that he's inconsistent and uneven at right tackle. That's why they moved him out.
Well, I'm speaking as to him moving the guard.
Oh, yeah. I've heard like of him opening lanes. I haven't heard much about, like negative about him being there.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I was gonna say. What you said earlier.
Better get fucking Quentin Nelson after we overpaid to move up for him, though.
We'll see.
That's what I'm saying.
So
it's so depressing. It's depressing to think about how we draft O linemen. It just really is.
Dude, I told y'all these guys can't evaluate the offensive line very well, man.
I don't understand it. I was just reading an article.
You know what, man? With the way no. So I'll let you go. But you know what I would have done, bro? I would have stayed at 3. I would have overpaid to move up to move up from 18 to 6, and I would have drafted Panay and Waddle, and I would have said screw the Jalen Phillips pick.
Or Panay and Bateman would have been dope, man.
Don't get me started on my man crush, bro.
Bro, Bateman's looking good over there in Baltimore, man.
Don't get me started.
You was right on
Woulda,
that.
coulda, shoulda, man. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
That's my boy right there, man.
Can we take a moment of peace
silence for that offensive line?
No, not for the O-line, but for Bengals fans. Can you take a moment of silence for them because
here we go.
They're getting killed right now.
I saw you on Twitter going heavy out there, bro.
I'm making them delete tweets. Bro. I want them to keep that same energy. I don't understand what people don't get about keeping this same energy. What you did to Tua, you better do to Burrow. You better do to Herbert. You better do to every young quarterback that comes in this league.
You
and those only reports is Herbert looks horrible.
You telling me? I'm literally 2 hours from Cincinnati, so everybody in my area is a Bengals fan, and they talk so much shit about Tua, and I'm loving it right now, man. I'm loving
talking about. Well, and one of them had the audacity to complain that people are overreacting when it came to Burrow and his performance. Like overreacting. I ain't hear nobody say that he's a bust yet.
Wait,
right?
Wait, hold up. Is Herbert actually looking horrible in camp?
No,
Burrow. Talking about Burrow.
Coming off of that.
Coming off his injury
stuff. Yeah.
It's just
he's not looking good.
It's like serendipitous that Tua came off an injury and did what he did.
Look at this guy dropping it.
Dropping them vocab bombs.
Oh, Reason. Did you hear about Tevin Jenkins?
Yeah, he's got back issues right now.
Yeah.
Who?
So it is Tevin Jenkins.
Right tackle, left tackle now. Tevin Jenkins. What about Josh Allen's big money?
Oh, what happened?
That was a year too soon.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, he said it himself, though, right? Like in the quote, they're not paying me for what I did. They're paying me to go out and win championships.
Yeah,
so
that's the same.
You want to hear something crazy, though? You want to hear something crazy? In 21 seasons, Tom Brady's made $263.5 million. In 6 seasons, Josh Allen's now made $258 million.
Fact.
Well, what about like Patrick Mahomes and shit too? So, but
he's eventually going to get there.
But Mahomes is the worst he's ever done is losing in the AFC Championship, right?
Josh Allen has more guarantees than Mahomes. It's crazy.
I think it
does he
by a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because Mahomes, a lot of his isn't guaranteed.
Yeah, Mahomes is 141.5 guaranteed.
But guys, don't act like we've never seen this before, guys. Don't act like we've never seen this before. I've seen the Bills do this with Fitzpatrick after they beat the Patriots that one year in like week 3 and gave him a big deal. And look what happened. I am a revisionist, damn it. Okay. It's gonna come back around. Like I said, people are we saying Josh Allen's elite after just 1 year?
I'm not.
That's what people are claiming, and I'm like,
there's people putting him in the top 5 already, bro.
I don't think
he's bro. Hold on. What did people expect when you put a receiver like Diggs with him, bro? Like, did they not expect fireworks?
Yeah, bro, dude. Listen, when they acquired Diggs last year, and I did go back to searching Phinside the NFL preseason prediction roundtable show. Okay, it was like me, Doug Lee, Dante Cullinelli, a bunch of people or whatever, and Josh Allen going to take that next step. You know, you got Diggs, who's one of the best route runners in the league. He's fast and he has a crazy catch radius. Bro, Dolphin fans we're in my comments not buying it, bro. Oh, he's trash. Oh, you're a Bills fan. You should get a Bills jersey. I said, okay, watch it play out. And then lo and behold, he goes and he hands our ass to us, especially in week 17. All right. And everyone was real quiet then, bro. So Dolphin fans, it's just like, again, last year offseason, I was the only one. People were in the comment section not believing me when I was saying, yo, they made the Jets are going to be good in 3 years with the hiring of Douglas as their GM. And they went out and they had the best coaching hire this offseason. Man. Zach Wilson still remains to be seen, but Elijah Moore is going to be fantastic. They've upgraded that offensive line totally. That offensive line is.
I like that O line better than ours. I like that O line better than theirs. And I'm mad.
Not hard.
I'm mad.
If Zach
I'm
Wilson,
mad.
I'll say this: if Zach Wilson hits, the Jets will be a threat in 2 years. Mark my words.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going in the right direction. And Allen, I mean, it is what it is, right? He just had that big year and everything, and so they sign him. Good for him, and he knows he's got to produce. So let's see how it goes. I mean, obviously, I hope he doesn't produce because.
But you got to honest. That guy has all the physical traits.
He got
to be a top 2 quarterback in the NFL.
Okay,
and they have a team built around him. So I mean,
that's the thing too.
Reasonably, you could say that he's probably going to have another good season, right? Barring like an injury or.
I'm into cliches, old football cliches, and it used to be that you can never really teach accuracy, and you could probably teach that quarterback to have a better base when they throw or something, but it's usually inherited. And for somebody to make that big of a jump to me is just ridiculous. From his college to his rookie year to his sophomore year to then what happened last year with Josh Allen, it's such a jump. I can't believe it. I have to see it again for me to call him elite because it's such a huge jump.
If you refine someone's mechanics, you can improve accuracy.
Yeah.
But that much though, I mean, that man was just barely getting 50% completion percentages to now what he had last year? But that was year 2. Year 2 was 52%. I mean, it went up 2% his second year or 3%. So it's anticipation and touch that are really hard to. He still don't have the touch.
Hard. Well, either does Herbert, right? Herbert might not ever have that touch.
He definitely Rowley still don't have the touch.
Yeah,
there was still. Even though they kicked our ass,
look at Herbert. What was Herbert's big issue even in Oregon? It was accuracy. But when I broke down his tape last year for my scouting report and stuff, it was, he had problems with his front arm. He had problems with he would do a swim motion instead of having it high and tight. And, and I've gone over, head mechanics are right to left in accuracy. Front arm is top to bottom, and his base. And he had problems with his base. He's flat-footed, wasn't lead with his lead foot, wasn't pointing his toe at the receiver. There was just issues with his mechanics that if you fix them up, you're going to get an increase in accuracy. And that was Josh Allen's problem too. But the touch, because they have such cannons, they've never had to rely on touch, right?
Yeah. And so you can also think of the whole equation, right? So let's say, because I get what you're saying about such a substantial jump, right? I mean, the Dolphins defense over the past couple of years took a big jump like that, right? So, you gotta find the balance, and I get that, but in the big scheme of things, you fix up some of those mechanics, you fix up his O-line, you give him good weapons, especially like Diggs, and it could account for a lot of that. I mean, maybe this year he drops a couple points, right? 2 or 3 points, but he's still roughly the same thing. And, it could balance out. I mean, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
I feel as though
and they added Emmanuel Sanders.
I joke with Bills fans, and I call them Panthers North because they literally just took everything from the Panthers. Sean McDermott was their DC. He's the head coach. They took the defensive coordinator. They have at least 6 ex-Panthers on the team. And I always consider Josh Allen Cam Newton. That's how I consider him.
Bigger arm with Josh.
Oh yeah. I've always said Josh Allen has a better arm and everything, but just the big strapping quarterback that can run, that has that's bruising or whatever like that, can gain extra yards. I always felt as though they was going to go the similar path, and if we're still going by that, then all that was last year was basically 1 year where Cam was like an MVP. And then he fell off the face of the earth due to injuries or whatever you want to call it.
You know what was worrisome last year? Okay, this is what Herbert struggled against us and the Patriots when he did it to him. And Josh Allen did in his first 2 years, but last year he was on point with it. Guys with those big arms that are vertical threats, you want to push their throws to the sideline. right? You want to push their throws outside the hash marks, so they have to be accurate towards the sideline, which is very hard to do, right? And if you don't have anticipation and touch, you know what I mean? It's hard to do that. And because it's way easier to undercut a route out there, right? Anyways, we did it to Josh Allen in week 2, and he started completing them. And me and EM had this talk. That was what the scary thing about watching Josh Allen was last year. Throws he couldn't make like that the 2 years before, he was starting to fucking make, bro. And Herbert, that's why he struggled against us. And like, look at his pick against that X pick that we pushed him toward his read towards the sideline. X jumped the route, cut it, and took it back, right? And that's what New England did. That's how you stop those big arm guys who aren't really accurate, who don't have that touch and that anticipation. But Josh Allen last year was making the throws.
He was making some of
Yeah.
But he was even in the last game when he kicked our ass, he had some very bad throws. Like the old Josh Allen crept up a little bit. There was 2 opportunities where we could have got extra interceptions.
Did you see the screen that I showed a couple streams ago?
No. What?
A screen pass at practice, and he
Sailed it
he threw it into the first row, bro.
And I used to get on Bills because I work with a Bills fan, so me and him go back and forth. And I used to tell him before last year happened, I used to tell him like, "Yo, your receivers are not the problem." Because if you look up the stats, they were top 3, and the receivers were in separation. The Bills receive before they even got Diggs, they were top 3 in separation, and he wasn't hitting them in year 1 and year 2.
You know what's another crazy thing, bro? Last year he had over 3 seconds on average time to throw.
Yes, I saw that. That's ridiculously long.
Stupid.
Bro. Don't just launch it up.
Bro,
that's
you give 2 or 3 seconds, he'll dice every team we face, bro.
Bro, and that's why I was always adamant about Tua. Throughout his life, he's shown that he's been accurate. It hasn't been, 1 year up and down. No, he has been accurate his entire career as a football player.
Coming out of Bama in that draft, yes, Herbert could throw it 80 yards, but Tua was the best deep ball thrower because his touch and anticipation was ridiculous.
Exactly.
This is what I talk about.
O-line terrible as well.
What people didn't realize what was so good about Tua. This guy could hit a fly, a 9 go route, and it didn't matter if it was a 4-4 guy like Judy. Didn't matter if it was a 4-2 guy like Devontae Smith or Henry Ruggs. He could make that dip from legit 4-2
in our Alabama
5-4-5, and it would still be in stride. It would still be right in point. Dude, that is a huge. You're talking about going from lightning to fat to fast, right? Relatively fast. That is a huge thing. Not enough people talked about. Man, you got to be your intangibles up here, and your anticipation has to be ridiculous.
The golf analogy reason, it's drive for show or put for dough, isn't it? It's the strong arm guy can throw it down the field, but when it comes to the red zone and the outside and dropping dimes, you need the accuracy.
I feel as though you don't need a strong arm quarterback to win.
Bro, how many
you need an
How many 70, 80-yard throws are we making in a season?
Exactly. Why do I
not many?
It's cute on broken plays or last and a half stuff. He got the arm to reach it. That's cute.
Yeah.
But no, I want a methodical, accurate quarterback. Why? Because I've seen the fucking Patriots bitches do it all this goddamn time, and that's what works. Because you can't rely on big plays. If you stick to the schedule, you're going to score. If you keep moving the ball 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, 4 yards, 3-yard run.
Brady's so good at comebacks, bro. 2 minute football, man.
And Tua is already good at that too.
Who is Tom Brady's idol?
Tua is Tom Brady's idol?
Who was Tom Brady's idol?
I didn't know that.
It was Joe Montana. And it was the same exact way. He would just dice you over the intermediate level, short to intermediate level, West Coast offense, quick, rhythmic, get it out, and then bam. And then eventually one of his guys, like, do you guys realize Jerry Rice was like a 4.67?
Yeah.
What?
You know that?
He said he ran that. Yep.
Yo,
That's
Jerry
always
Rice
been
ran a 4.67 at his combine, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He sure as hell don't look it.
He got faster.
And here's the thing that I think
Game speed.
Tua has that Brady and Montana has. He just hasn't had a chance to display it yet. Is that winner's DNA? Like, bro, this guy was at 60% last year, and he was still finding ways to win. Like, okay, like look at it this way. This is my perfect example. You go to that Patriots game. The passing lanes were taken away. He made the in-game adjustment on J.C. Jackson. Like, he can still find a way to beat you if you take things away from him. And he was doing that as a rookie. And how many rookies have done that to Bill Belichick?
None of them.
Not
We seen
many.
Herbert get beat.
Bro.
We seen Herbert get beat 45-0 when he went against them last year. 45-0. Zero. I don't care how bad. I don't care how bad.
He wasn't the only one. I think only 3 rookie quarterbacks have ever beat Bill Belichick, bro.
Yeah, look, I mean, I got to keep it real. I mean, I know that there's always going to be comparisons and stuff, but in this context, this is why I hate comparing players that are in. Well, first of all, not just because every player is different, and they have different skill sets and stuff, but their situations are also very different. So, like, I think judging one player on what another player does in a different system, a different organization with different weapons and stuff is kind of silly. I mean, it's.
Well, you're right, because dude, do you think Herbert would have put up those numbers in this offense last year?
Hell no.
Heck no.
Nah, bro.
That's yo.
Yeah.
But that's just because of
Speaking
how
of
the offense was
teams,
ran.
did you hear about the Giants?
The Jags.
How 3 players have retired within a week or something like
That's
that.
the Raiders. That's the Raiders.
No, that's the Giants. That's I'm up in Giants country. Like Joe Judge has gotten 3 players to retire this week. This week alone, 4 altogether.
The Raiders have had 3 players and 2 executives retire, and they've they've hired an investigator.
Why? What the hell is going on over there?
The investigator's looking into why the executives have stepped down.
Because dude is a totalitarian. That's what I did.
Interesting.
But anyways, I don't care about other teams, especially in the NFC.
I don't care
at all.
When you're talking about, last season they were all saying Tua struggled with the deep ball, but coming out of college, Tua was compared to.
Yeah, but why? Obviously, he's going to struggle with the deep ball when his hip is in the shape it's in, bro.
And his offensive coordinator don't want to throw. He wants to throw a bubble screen.
But here's what blows my mind. They were saying that Tua was throwing deep too much in college. That was one of his knocks, is that they don't know he can hit the intermediate and short and drive down the field because he was throwing deep too much. Somebody said that.
Saban
it was an argument.
Saban apparently at one point told him to rein it in.
Like, what? But he can't hit the deep ball.
Whatever.
But here's the thing. Last year, he just wasn't attempting the deep ball very much.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, his receivers. Yeah, it's obviously a number of things, right? I mean, the health is a big issue. The Chan Gailey and the playbook stuff and the offensive line. I mean, obviously all affected that. But I mean, I think the health is the number one thing, right? Like, because he's proven he can hit those when he's able to get that fluid motion throughout his entire body. So I ain't worried about that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. My point was that coming out of college, particularly like Bucky Brooks was one of the guys that said Tua was the left-handed version of Drew Brees. Now, we all know Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback, didn't have a strong arm, but could push the ball downfield, deep passes, with the scheme and Michael Thomas and all the other weapons that he had. And we know that Tua had problems last season because he wasn't 100% healthy, but now you see in this year in training camp that they are encouraging him, now he's 100% healthy again, to push the ball downfield, and he's doing it, and he's doing it successfully. So I think we're seeing Tua
has a much stronger arm than Drew Brees.
Yeah, for sure.
ESPN ranked the Dolphins #1 as 25 and under talent.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
also
we-
like
But
one of
they
the
didn't-
youngest teams in the
16.
league too.
Last
so-
year we were 16th, right?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, man. I
Somebody-
mean, it looks great. Hopefully, it all comes together, right? Like, they're
Yep.
all super young guys with, a lot of them have a ton of, upside and potential. You just got to make sure to maximize and reach that.
But the one thing I worry about is that as much as, and I love seeing what Tua is doing right now, but for Tua to succeed, he still needs to have a successful running game and offensive line playing well in the running game. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm still quite worried about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am.
When Jesse Davis is our best offensive lineman, you damn right I'm worried about it, bro.
Yeah, I'll keep saying it,
It's
bro.
horrible.
Yeah, I'll keep saying the same thing. Hopefully, other people take this little bit of what I got to say to heart. Don't get too, emotionally invested until the season actually starts. I get the concerns, and I've got them too. And so I'm. To be fair, I am mentally preparing myself for that for the season. However, I mean, we still do got to give them a chance. But I mean, look, next week is going to be super exciting, right? I think. By the way, that Hall of Fame game was boring as shit.
Yeah, I only watched that game for Najee.
Was anybody jealous that we didn't?
Micah Parsons was ridiculous.
Was-
in that
Yeah,
game.
Yeah, I mean, there
Anybody
was
so
some.
mad that we didn't get Najee?
I mean,
I still feel still.
What was the
sad about
question? I
not
couldn't
getting Najee.
hear you.
if we did, are we mad?
I
that
liked
we
Clay.
didn't
I
get
thought
Najee?
Claypool looked nice in that game.
I couldn't hear you.
Matt, are you upset that we didn't get Najee Harris?
Me?
Yes.
That's
No.
what he asked.
I wanted Javonte Williams, so I'm upset
Yeah.
that we didn't get him. I didn't want Najee.
Najee
I mean,
or
I'm
Travis.
upset. I'm upset that the Dolphins can't prioritize.
Mm.
Let's just
running
say
back?
that.
Old linemen and running backs, right? I'm
When I
not.
saw, like, when I saw those
Jack
the Broncos just come up, I was just like, and then I was like, they're not going to pick a running back. And they did, and I was just like, oh my God. Put the phone down, I stopped watching draft.
I mean, two straight years we've
funny.
like had running backs on the board, and you think like J.K. Dobbins, and it's like, come on, we're going to get J.K. Dobbins. No, Baltimore takes him. Okay, Javonte Williams. No, Denver Broncos take him. We just hesitate quite. I don't know why we hesitate on running backs. I don't know.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
it's 'cause-
well, they can't move up a spot or two to go get one of those guys, but then they'll move up like
Fucking
7
Liam
spots
Eichenberg.
to get Eichenberg.
Well, they did try, apparently,
Yeah, I mean,
at least once.
You've been trying. And like I was about to say earlier, I was reading some article on Richie Incognito, and it just made me realize we have yet to find his replacement.
Oh yeah.
We have yet to find
Pouncey.
Richie Incognito's
Dude, when I was
replacement.
watching,
We have yet
when I was
to
watching, when I was watching the 2012 Hard Knocks, like he was a beast in those 5 episodes
Yeah.
too.
was it
we-
Josh
we-
Sitton we had at guard? Was it Josh Sitton?
Yeah,
Philbin
he's been
and
in
Jonathan Martin.
yeah, we just have to, we have to replace Mike Pouncey still, and Brandon Albert, and Laramie Tunsil.
He made me
and-
pick up my pads and made fun of me.
Liam Eichenberg, how is he ahead of Solomon Kinley? That's what.
I think wait.
No, he.
Well,
he-
Solomon McKinley hasn't been
he just
doing
hasn't
well,
performed.
man. He hasn't
Yeah, he
performed very
hasn't-
well.
Already been on his ass a lot.
Let's see if that promotion to second
Breathing
team
hard.
sticks. So we'll see how practice is tomorrow. There'll be a lot more details from tomorrow's practice.
I wanted to bring something up here. So let me download these images. I brought them up on on this channel before, but we were talking about Tua's deep ball, and I wanted to bring up some analytics just to show everyone that it's really all about attempts for him right now. So let me just bring that stuff up right now.
School's in session.
Okay. Download that. All right, here we go. All right, so here is Tua, because it's kind of a fallacy. He just didn't really attempt a lot. That's what it came down to. If you look at Tua, this is all throws of 21 plus yards in clean pockets, ranked by accuracy percentage. Tua was number 2 in the NFL last year. The only thing is, it was all about attempts. He didn't have a ton of attempts because remember, the key thing is clean pocket. So the guy hit 50% and completion percentage, and he had a 66.67% accuracy percentage. He only was behind Matthew Stafford last year. And it's all about giving him the clean pocket so he can make those throws. That's what this all comes down to.
Clean pockets. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and also you've said it before, Reason, and other people have said it too. He's got great pocket presence too. So, give him a clean pocket, the guy's money.
Well, this goes back to Josh Allen's over here getting 3 seconds. To his average time to throw last year was about 2.5 seconds.
2.5, yeah.
And that's what's so sad. You see that. Why the hell does the front office not see that and invest in this damn O-line, man?
Well, they think they have. That's the thing, right? They think that they have, and when you look at the number of resources that they've used, you can certainly paint that picture. The question is did they get the right pieces, right? Is that puzzle going to come together and make a pretty picture, or is it going to, are you going to be like missing pieces and then the pieces don't fit together properly, right? And you have holes in it. Puzzle analogy is actually really good for that. So
I think we missed the chance to, in my opinion, I may be overrating Sewell here, and correct me if you think I'm wrong here, but I think he was a perfect Laramie Tunsil replacement.
Dude, he's the best. I've told people this. He's the best tackle to come out since Orlando Pace.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But that's the thing, though, right? That's the thing. So and look, sure, okay, they graded Waddle high. That's fine. But look at how they prioritized, right? So they're like, okay, we're going to trade down to 12, move back up to 6. So now we're going to pay 2 first-round picks for whoever we take at that spot. They decide to go the speedy receiver that's familiar with their quarterback to, give them a weapon. And they decided not to go with the offensive line, and then waited until what was Eichenberg round 2,
round, and they traded up for him,
and moved up to get him. Yeah,
and they gave up a third. They gave up a second this year and a third next year for him.
Yeah,
I mean, Waddle looks explosive, doesn't it? Waddle looks like it could be a game breaker, but like you've all said, we already had Will Fuller, and look at how Albert Wilson's been balling in training camp as well, guys. I mean, this guy, obviously you can't always foresee things like that because he sat out through COVID and stuff. But he's come back, and he looks like he's gonna make the roster as a starter. And I don't know. I think we dropped the ball on Sewell there.
Why do we keep dropping tackles that have like short ass arms, man?
I know.
I don't understand.
And then they keep shifting to guard.
And they're like, oh, we can't play it, so here we go, guard.
So we got like 15 guards. Also, did you see they re-signed? I know, super side note, but they re-signed the long snapper Rex Sunahara. It's lovely. Yeah. I mean, you could have, honestly, bro, you could have brought in another offensive lineman. What are you doing?
Oh, man.
I mean, and if they kept him, I don't have a lot invested in Blake Ferguson, but other than the fact that he was a draft pick. But that's what would upset me if they kept Sunahara over Ferguson, is just that they drafted him.
Dude, you should have seen me on draft day when we drafted him. We had James Proche was on the board. I'm pretty sure one other receiver, like a Devin Duvernay or someone that I wanted, was on the board too, and they drafted Blake Ferguson. What are these guys doing right now? And then we go and have wide receiver problems last year. Go figure that one out.
Yeah.
Jared Brown donates $2. He said Liam will be good. Mark my words.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Will they be good at guard though? Or will they be good at tackle?
I hope, Jared, you weren't one of those people telling me that Noah's about to ball out.
And so think about that too. If we would have took a receiver instead of Blake Ferguson or whatever, maybe we could have reprioritized and took an offensive lineman to start the draft, and then got another. If we really felt we needed another receiver, we could have gotten maybe, your man crush Bateman, or maybe an Elijah Moore or somebody else, whatever.
Yeah, my whole thing too is like, how rare is it that, dude? Again, I know what I'm talking about with offensive linemen. I mean, I always bring up Tristan Wirfs. You know what I mean? So, you know, he's a guard, right? Tristan Wirfs. I was telling everyone, he was the best tackle when no one was even talking about him in October 2019 on TV Fins Talk. So, you know, just because I had watched a ton of film on the kid, right? So, plus I actually had a buddy who I played ball with go down and watch an Iowa State game, and he actually went there to watch AJ Epinesa, and he came away and he's like, yo, Tristan Wirfs is the legit real deal. And anyway, so Jared says he was not one of the people saying that Noah's going to ball out. There you go. My whole thing is, not only is Panay such a good prospect, it's very, very rare that you get the top tackle in the class falling all the way to 6.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had Tunsil fall to us at 5, right? Was it 5?
No, that was
Tunsil dropped to about 11, didn't they?
Or 11, or maybe it was 12, whatever, something like that.
He's
so
in the
we
team.
have
gas
Tunsil
mask
drop,
though, right?
Yeah, because of the gas mask thing, because he smoked some weed, whatever. So we have that happen. Then we trade him away. I get it. 2 first-round picks, whatever.
Awesome.
But then we have Penei Sewell drop to us, and they just full-on pass on him.
Different regimes.
At least they took him. Yeah, different regimes. That's fair.
Because you know what the thing is, and this is where I hate Adam Gase. Okay, I don't like Mike. I don't like Mike Tannenbaum either. But here's the thing: they had Brandon Albert, a guy who came to us off back-to-back Pro Bowls, and they still saw Laramie Tunsil drop to them, and they said, "Shit, draft him. We'll move him to left guard."
Yeah,
that's the only reason he started out at left guard was because Brandon Albert was there,
which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah. Then look at. That's the 2016 is the year of the unicorn line. Look at how easily we moved the football on the ground line that year with Jay Ajayi. Jay Ajayi had no knees, and he's never had success like that since he left, bro.
Yeah, he got 200-yard games, right?
He got
200-yard games.
Yeah, in that season, he got so lucky that he.
And look how much it helped Tannehill before he got hurt. Look at how much the running game in that offensive line helped Tannehill before he got hurt.
I mean, even in 2019, we started off 3-0, and that offensive line was looking really good until they got hurt. But but yeah, man, I feel you. You know, I've been saying that, and I mean, you know, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I say is they drafted really good there. I mean, even his 1 year drafting with the Jets. I mean, he took Mekhi Becton, Denzel Mims, so he's a good drafter. He's got his other shortcomings, but you know. And they definitely did the right thing by taking Tunsil, jumping on that opportunity. I mean, it was hand-delivered right to him. And then, you know, it was brilliant. And that's a smart way of getting, you know, a rookie some playing time in his first year if you're going to do it, right? Like, don't force him in to the left tackle position when you don't need to. Give him that time to learn the inside. It gives him a bigger picture of the offensive line and helps his improvement overall.
I hope that's what they're doing with Eichenberg.
What? But is he gonna? Who's he learning from? Austin Jackson? Because that's the thing.
My issue with Eichenberg, if they're already calling him, if the word out of camp is already he's uneven and inconsistent at right tackle, and the pads weren't even on, that's worrisome, bro. Yeah. Like that worries me. Anyways, I got to get out of here. So let's go through some final thoughts. Florida Born, go ahead, buddy.
Just ready for this joint practice. I'm ready for Tua to light it up. Fins up.
And also, we should have spent, instead of spending all this money on Will Fuller, they should have listened to me and spent all that money on Corey Linsley, and we'd have a legit center at this.
I agree.
Anyways, especially if we're going to be running a lot of screens in RPO this year. Dylan, your final thoughts.
Yep, appreciate having me. I want the sex situation done and finalized. I hope they are making progress, but you know, I've said it once. For me, I just want to see him back fully participating with the team, and then I'll believe things are going in the right direction. Other than that, I am super pumped. I mean, we got a couple more days of practice this week, but then a couple days off before next week's joint practices with the Bears, and then our first preseason game. So I'm pumped. I can't wait, and I'm super hyped for your live stream.
Red Comment, your final thoughts.
I just hope this whole line holds, and we'll be doing good.
Okay. Logan, your final thoughts, buddy.
Ends up.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Great show. Yeah, man, excited about the season, and hopefully, no one is throwing cap, and the only one throwing cap is X with his throwing cap. No.
All right, British Fin fan, your final thoughts.
Yeah, I just hope that the offensive line can pull it together and surprise us all. And I think as well as Tua, one of the big beneficiaries of that will be Myles Gaskin, who I think could have a big year if the offensive line can hold strong and open up some lanes for him, because the guy's really balling out in training. He's put some size on, and I think Myles Gaskin could shock some people this season.
Nice. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow night. And I'll be back Sunday night as well because they practice the next 2 days. So be out on the lookout. We'll be back to the usual because today was just a walkthrough. Okay, tonight I will be posting some Deshaun Watson news on the Patreon, exclusive to Patreons. I was just talking to someone close to the Xavien Howard situation while we were live. Tomorrow night I'll have some Xavien Howard news that I'll be posting exclusive to the Patreon, some insider info stuff. All right, guys. So Deshaun Watson news to the Patreon and tonight, and X news to the Patreon tomorrow. And if you want to become a Patreon, patreon.com/Phinside the NFL. You also get mod status when you become a Patreon to the channel. All right, guys. As always, patchvibes.com. Use code Phinside. Save 20% off your order. And our newest sponsor, backroomcollection.net. Use code REASON to save 10% off your order. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, you can use a super chat or you can hit up me on PayPal. And if you'd like to become a YouTube channel member, you'll have early access to the Raekwon Davis stuff when NFL Game Pass gets their act in order and the All-22s back up. You'll have early access to those type of videos, the film study videos. So just look below right next to subscribe. There's a join button. And in the description, there's also a direct link to join the channel. All right, guys. Everyone, I will see you tomorrow night. Fins up all day, every day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Keep Damian Deese in your prayers. All right, guys? Take it easy.